Hi, welcome back to the Spirit's Path. This is Dee, and today we're talking about the full moon in Sagittarius, which happens on May 26th. And the full moon in Sagittarius looks at the ideals and visions that are heightened during this full moon. And we want to tap into the expansive energy and release anything that is keeping you small. So it's supposed to, help you, increase your awareness and get larger a little bit and help with the ideals and visions that you might have. Now, the 6 questions that it asks is, where do you need to focus on expanding your awareness? What do you need to release in order to achieve your goals? What is the ideal vision for the global community? And how might short or long-term travel benefit you in the next 6 months? What can you do to connect more deeply with your friends? And what do you need to let go of in order to truly inspire others? So those are the 6 questions, and this spread is brought to you by Biddy Tarot that I'm using. And again, we're going to look at the ideals and the visions that are heightened during this full moon in Sagittarius. So the cards are shuffled. You know what? I think I'm going to do one more shuffle here. And I'm going to start drawing. All right. So where do you need to focus on expanding your awareness during this full moon in Sagittarius? And that's represented by the 9 of Arrows and dedication. Where do you need to release in order to achieve your goals? What do you need to release in order to achieve your goals? The Great Bear, or Judgment, depending on how you want to look at it. What is your ideal vision for the global community during this full moon in Sagittarius? What is your ideal vision for the global community? Represented by the Ace of Arrows and Breath of Life. How might short or long-term travel benefit you in the next 6 months? Is represented by the Guardian, the Life Lessons card. 2 Life Lessons cards up here. What can you do to connect more deeply with your friends during this full moon in Sagittarius? Queen of Bows and Hair. And then what do you need to let go of in order to truly inspire others? What do you need to let go of in order to truly inspire others? 10 of Arrows, instruction. It's a completion. Okay, so you've got 3 Arrows cards. So this is more of an intellectual, mind, air energy reading, as well as Life Lessons cards that come out. And I'm putting these cards away. And let's look at this. So what do you need to focus on in expanding your awareness? Now, we're looking at ideals and visions being heightened during the Sagittarius full moon. All right, and it's tapping into that expansive energy, okay? The energy that's widely out there, okay? I should say, energy that's widely out. It's energy that's out there, okay, but it's very expansive. And if we can just get a sliver of that expansive energy coming in to us, all right, it helps us release those things that we're keeping small. Okay, so we can expand. It's almost like, I want to say Saturn, having that planet of Saturn within us, right? And just being able to expand. Okay, and I might be wrong. I can't remember if it's Saturn or Jupiter, but we want to expand what we have coming in. Okay, we want to expand our ideals. We want to expand our visions. All right, we want that energy to be heightened. And you need to focus on expanding your awareness with your dedication. Now, how does that go? Okay, so it could be focus your energy and awareness on dedication to your job, or to your family, or to a social setting. Okay, whatever that focus is, for this full moon in Sagittarius. All right, and you've got a month to focus on it. So you could focus on a whole lot of different things: physical health, You could focus on, maybe 1 week it's physical health. Maybe it's 1 week it's work, work-life balance. All right, become dedicated to expanding your awareness on whatever it is that's keeping you small. Okay, so let's take a work situation. Let's say that you're working on a project and you don't feel it's going, as fast as you'd like it to go. Okay, those are the ideals and visions you have. Okay, but if you become more dedicated to it, all right, maybe put in an extra hour, 2 hours, maybe have an extra meeting or something like that, and you put some extra energy into it, that's what's going to help expand it, make it larger than what it is, and going to draw more interest into it to look at. All right, and at that point, it's not going to keep you small. It's going to help you, move forward. Okay, so that's where you need to focus on expanding your awareness, putting some dedication into whatever it is on those ideals or visions, those goals that you have. What do you need to release in order to achieve those goals? Is represented by the Great Bear. And, this is pretty much letting go of judgment. Okay, letting go of, what is holding you back. All right, and that's what it wants you to do. It wants you to release that energy. It wants you to release that judgmental energy of whatever it is. Let's say that project that you're working on. Okay, let go of certain judgments about the project. Well, I don't think that would work. Look at it through a different lens. Look at it from a different perspective and understand. Ask some questions around some people that have those ideas, that could possibly help out, right? And be open-minded. Think out of the box. Be open-minded and just, ask the questions to get clarification, all right? And let some of that judgment go so you can move forward, all right? And, touching that expansive energy that's out there. What is your ideal vision for the global community? Is represented by the Ace of Arrows and a Breath of Life. Now, the aces are new beginnings, all right? And, the Breath of Life being that, this is an arrows card. It's air energy. Okay, you're breathing something into a project, all right? The ideal vision for the global community. It's just not your local or your work or your social community. It's for the global community. What can you do globally to heighten those ideals and visions that you have, that you're becoming dedicated to, that you're letting go of judgment with? All right, how could you tap into that expansive energy? It's by breathing life into a project, okay, by breathing life into an ideal or a vision, okay? And, sometimes that breathing life into something is something as simple as, hey, did you ever think of, possibly, doing this way with this project, or have you thought about going, adding this to the project? So you're breathing life into something that's going on out there. You're asking a question, all right, and you're giving it somebody something to think about. Okay, maybe you come up with that. Okay, maybe it's a good time to sit back and think about where you're at with that project. Okay, and I'm using this as an example. All right, now this could be a relationship, however you want to look at it, but once you touch into that expansive energy, look at it as a big conduit of light going through. All right, and you just stick your hand in, and you just stick your fingertips in, and you just get a little bit. Okay, that's going to come through you. All right, and out into your thought process. Okay, out into the people you're communicating with, and that's going to give you that breath of life, just like the smoke rising up from the horse's head. Okay, there's life being brought into that smoke, and it's wafting in the wind. And people miles away might see that and say, you know what, there's life going on over there. That's how you bring that ideal vision to the global community. You open it up for everybody. Okay, whether that's through the web, whether that's through social media, however you want to do that. All right. How might short or long-term travel benefit you in the next 6 months? Is represented by the Guardian. Now, to me, this is a life lessons card. Don't be afraid of short or long-term travel in the next 6 months. The guardian is standing in front of this cave. It wants you to face your fears. So, as travel restrictions open up for people to move forward during this full moon, that's going to help you out expressing your ideals and visions. Okay, that's going to help you open up to expanding your own energy into that global community, right? All right. Take the opportunity to travel, whether it's short or long term. Face those fears. Those fears might be, I don't really want to go, COVID's still out there. Well, if you're vaccinated, you got a better chance. Okay, most airlines haven't given up the aspect of wearing a mask, all right, on a plane. Yeah, there was more people there, but, be courteous and kind, and, do your due diligence on doing what you have to do to stay safe. All right, and if that requires wearing a mask, then wear a mask. Okay, it's just a short plane ride wherever you're going to go. Unless you're going halfway around the world, which, could take, 10, 12 hours, whatever it is. But face those fears in that short or long-term travel, and be respectful of the areas that you do go to, talk about those ideals and visions on a global level. All right. Face that guardian. Face your fears during that short and long-term travel in the next 6 months. So what can you do to connect more deeply with your friends is represented by the Queen of Bows. Now, the Queen of Bows is, symbolic of spring and fertility. All right. And then queens rule the castle. All right. And Bows is fire creativity. And this is the only fire card you have down here. So this is an action card for you. How do you connect more deeply with your friends? If you're facing your fears with that travel, short-term and long-term, go visit your friends. All right, connect with them on a more deeper level, like this Queen of Bows is doing. All right, when you do that, when you connect with somebody, and you show up their doorstep, you strengthen that relationship that's going on. Okay, and this Queen is sympathetic and understanding and guiding you for success on your journey. So you can connect more deeply with your friends by taking on that queenly aspect of knowing what's going on, not necessarily being a nosy body in their life, but understanding where people are at and taking that opportunity for short-term or long-term travel. Okay. Now she's going to ask you, how do you influence people around you? Okay. If you are looking at trying to put your ideals and visions into a global community, all right, focus on that dedication. All right, don't be judgmental. Take in that, breathe that breath of life. Okay, by taking your idea to the next step. And if you've got to travel to do that, do so. Okay, but at the same time, influence those that are around you. How do you do that? Well, maybe you just sit down and say, hey, I support that decision. Maybe it's gentle, a gentle persuasion to say, have you really thought about doing it this way? All right. It could be, looking at being committed to it. You know what? I'm 100% behind that idea. All right. I'm 100%, agreeing with you that we need to travel to such and such place to, talk to the global leaders about this. Okay. Whether, with your company or with the project or whatever. All right, because that's what is that going to do? That's going to show your dedication, okay? That's going to show that you really want to be involved in that, all right? And then the other question, as the wind picks up, is where do you need to be more understanding? This goes back to the Judgment card, okay, the Great Bear. Where do you need to be more understanding? Okay, going back to, what do you need to release in order to achieve your goals? By becoming more understanding and listening to the thoughts and ideas of others, all right, you connect with them and they in turn become a part of the fabric of the project or a part of the issue, right? Like, it's just not you taking it to somebody. It's, we as a collective take it out there for people. And that's how you can connect more deeply with friends, with new friends, new colleagues, right? Being out there to, help focus on that awareness, of what's going on. Again, touching some of that expansive energy, all right? understanding where people are coming from, and then, you know, trying to motivate them to lift up a little bit. And then finally, what do you need to let go of in order to truly inspire others? You're either the student or the teacher here. This 10 of Arrows instruction. In order to let go and truly inspire others, you can't look at it as a job. You have to look at it as instruction. You have to look at it as saying, you know, this is where we're at. All right, this is where we want to go. This is the ideal and the vision of what we're trying to plan for in the future. Okay, and we are going to embody this as we're moving forward. We are going to, you know, develop programs. We're going to initiate, you know, successes. And, you know, we're not going to look at this as instruction. We're going to look at this as, you know, fun and having a great time with other people and moving our initiatives forward for the ideals and visions that are heightened during this full moon in Sagittarius. So, you know, don't look at this as, oh my gosh, I got to do homework, or, you know, I got to teach a student. Look at this as, let's instruct people, okay, on what those ideas and visions are. And kind of like as a grassroots campaign, let's let it grow and grow and grow and grow. Grow to the point where it's self-sustainable. All right? So that's the full moon in Sagittarius. Just to recap, you need to focus on your awareness, on dedication. Dedicating yourself to that ideal and vision that's out there. In order, you need to release judgment in order to achieve your goals during this full moon in Sagittarius. The ideal for the global community is to breathe life into that project and to breathe life into the ideals and visions that you have, right? Grabbing hold of that expansive energy. How might short and long-term travel benefit you in the next 6 months? Face your fears, right? Go out there and take care of that. Go for that long-term travel. You can connect more deeply with your friends by taking on that aspect of the Queen of Bows, the Queen of Fire, of action, of activity. You know, asking the question of, you know, what do I need to understand more thoroughly, right? And then, what do you need to let go of in order to truly inspire others? Instruct people. Don't look at it as a job. Look at it as, you know, an understanding, giving them understanding on how to move forward. Okay, so there you have it. The full moon in Sagittarius, which happens May 26th. Looking at your ideals and visions during this full moon in Sagittarius, allowing you to tap into that expansive energy and release anything that is keeping you small. So there you have it. Full moon in Sagittarius. Hit that like button for me, subscribe to the channel, and share it with others. And this is Dee. We'll talk to you at the new moon coming up in June here in a couple weeks. Take care, God bless, and stay safe, everybody.